Hey everybody, welcome back to CAF's Heroes of Sport. My name is Bob Babbitt, co-founder of Challenge Athletes Foundation, and every week we get to chat with some of the greatest challenged athletes and supporters on the planet. This week is no different. We have from Team Liza, we have Beth James, and one of our huge supporters from Strava, Mr. David Lorsch, who's Chief Revenue Officer over there. And Liza, Beth, let's start with you. Talk a little bit about, you had three young kids. It's the 4th of July, 2004. Take me through what happened that day.
Well, it's been quite a few years. It was quite a terrible accident. Returning home from a backyard family gathering, Liza suffered a severe brain injury. The other two children are fine. They're doing well today, thank goodness. But yes, when 1 minute everybody's fine and enjoying a nice gathering, and the next minute we're in a desperate mode. But Liza pulled through, and here she is, 25 years old, and very happy and very healthy, even though the brain injury caused serious damage.
Liza was 6 years old at the time. She was in a coma for 2 months, and basically two vehicles were drag racing, and they hit your car, flipped over your car, and the car was on fire. The fact that the injuries weren't worse to all of you is amazing.
I agree, and I'm very, very thankful for that. It was truly a life-changing moment, but we have been so thankful and just so determined to charge forward and make the most of it. Keep Liza super active and happy and healthy. She receives a lot of love, but she sure gives a lot of love to the family and to many others.
When did you realize that Liza would enjoy being out with you? Because you were a marathoner and a triathlete before this happened. And when did you first realize that Liza would enjoy that experience?
Well, it was one step at a time. I was really struggling within myself, caring for the children, making sure Liza was okay. But then my passion for athleticism, running, etc., kicked in again. And that helped me to get out and feel better. So I entered the Oklahoma City Marathon a few months after the accident, and I was honestly crying every step of the way. But I was feeling alive again. It was happy tears. I was enjoying every moment of it. And it just hit me that Liza needs to feel this togetherness, this camaraderie. And it hit me. And sure enough, reaching out to Team Hoyt, obtaining her first piece of equipment, testing what she would really enjoy, walk around the park, a 1 mile jog, you name it. And she just continued to communicate and say, yes, Mom, let's continue. She didn't want me to slow down, and she really didn't want to get out of the chair. So one step at a time, but from running events, marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks with Liza, thanks to the Challenged Athletes Foundation, we learned of your triathlon in La Jolla. And that, honestly, you talk about setting Liza's world on fire. It was fabulous. And we've enjoyed many events since.
Oh, a ton of them. And you just finished Ironman St. George. And for people who aren't familiar with the 70.3 World Championship, you guys had hail, you had rain, you had wind, you had sandstorms. I don't think you had locusts, but I think you had pretty much every other plague that was out there. And you're out there, and when you're pulling Liza on the bike, what did we figure out that the total weight is that you're hauling along?
Well, I weigh about 130 pounds. Liza is petite. Thank goodness she's about 100 pounds. Liza's adaptive star racing chair weighs about 21 pounds. So I don't like doing that math. I don't like that over 200-pound final number. But thanks to a fabulous bike, a fabulous racing chair, and also just the beautiful image of Liza's happiness and the finish line, it gets us from point A to point B quite well. Very thankful.
I love it. And David, we go back a lot of years. We go back to when you were with Calera, and Calera bought our competitor group. And so you were exposed through to the Challenge Athletes Foundation back in the day, back in 2012, 13, 14. And you've been such a huge supporter through Strava. And right now we've got the Strava challenge going right now. I think there's 100,000 people who are participating in the your Strava challenge. And those people are going to be raising funds for CAF at the same time. But talk a little bit about when you first got exposed to CAF and why is it important to you?
Yeah, I think, Bob, I first got exposed to CAF when I did the ITU race down in San Diego back in probably like 2012, 2013. Yeah, so that was when it was. And I saw the group of adaptive athletes that were participating there, and was just blown away by the level of like commitment and just inspiration that you take away from those people and their their love of the sport and their commitment to the sport. And so that was the first time I had been exposed to it, and the first time I became aware of Challenge Athlete Foundation. But it's been an organization since I joined Strava in 2013 that we've partnered with in many different ways, and we've just really appreciated the opportunity to help support challenged athletes better, to help understand their needs and how we can serve them better on the platform. And it's very aligned with our overall mission of making Strava a very inclusive platform for everybody who's out there striving and trying to achieve an athletic goal, however they define it. And for Strava, we say that if you sweat, you're an athlete. That's our very simple definition of it. And it's really fantastic to see all the work that CAF is doing to support these incredible stories like Team Liza's.
So right now we have the Stronger Through Sport Challenge, and people need to do 300 minutes of exercise of some sort. And I was looking at the list, and it's basically goes on forever: skiing, canoeing, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Like you said, you're sweating, you're working out, you can earn your CAF badge, your finisher's badge, by doing 300 minutes, and then you get 25% off code. You donate $10 or more, you can win. We got a grand prize coming to San Diego for VIP vacation, felt bikes, Apple Watches, Nike product, 100% glasses. And this year we've done a challenge with you last year with the community challenge, but this year it's now international.
Yep.
And that's really cool. That's really upping the ante a bit, creating more exposure for the challenge, but obviously more exposure for CAF internationally.
Yeah, and we're really excited to support you and your organization, both here in the U.S. and globally. And Strava's a very global community. Most of our athletes actually are outside the U.S. And so the more we can do to connect those athletes to CAF around the world, the more we can do to support our community and the great work that you're doing too.
So I got a note from Cam Worth today, the professional triathlete, professional cyclist. And I said, hey, did you sign up for the challenge yet? He said, yeah, I signed up. And he said, I was already done.
Yes, 300 minutes.
300 minutes before breakfast. That's what happens when you're a professional cyclist.
Yeah, I'm sure Beth, you'll finish it really quickly. Sounds like.
Yeah. 80 million athletes, right? Is that
90 million,
the Strava community?
Yeah, we're over 90 million athletes.
90 million.
Yeah.
Wow. When you look back at coming from Calera, both private equity, and coming into Strava, what did you gain from private equity that's helped you with Strava?
I think that what I gained from that experience was a way of looking at and analyzing, business problems.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that you could adapt to lots of different situations. I think I did not have the appreciation of what it takes to be inside and build a company, and the really hard work of serving a customer and serving a community. And so it was certainly a nice foundation, but it's also been an incredible journey to be part of helping build this community and this business over the last 8 years.
The one of the things that we obviously are trying to do across the board is diversity and inclusion. And that's part of your challenge as well, right? Is trying to make sure that if you're in a hand cycle, you're still part of the community. If you're just go out on a racing chair or a regular everyday chair, we want you to be connected to Strava.
Yep.
That's a big part of what you guys are trying to do and part of our partnership, I think really enhances that.
Absolutely. And I think, we've made some progress on that, like hand cycling, wheelchair activities are part of the activities that we support. We support all 32 different activities now and challenges. We've recently allowed people to use voice activation to start, stop, and pause activities on their Android phone. So, we're certainly making some progress, but I think there's no doubt there's a lot more that we can do to support, challenged athletes. And I think one of the great things that we found about partnering with your organization is just, it gives us an ability not only to be inspired by the amazing stories, but to learn as well how we can better support them. And we're actually, doing a project right now to do some research on understanding, where we can better support, those athletes on the platform and in our community. So it's a great part of the partnership as well. It's just that opportunity to learn, from this community.
I think we're both learning, which is really fun. Beth, let's get back to you and talk a little bit about, you finished Ironman Wisconsin, and then you moved on to Ironman, the World Championship in Kona. Talk a little about those two experiences, finishing Ironman Wisconsin. Obviously that was a bucket list for you, just getting through a full Ironman, and then coming over to really the pinnacle of our sport in Kona. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, it was amazing, honestly. The training, the dedication, but again, Liza's happiness and her desire to get out and go and do. But networking, it is fascinating how Liza is inspiring others and the communication. That's priceless. So one step after another, but yet then the invitation to participate in Kona just blew me away. Very, very honored and excited. Intense training and there's so much more than the beautiful event, of course. First time Liza to travel in an airplane. Her interaction with others, she was experiencing Kona. There were so many little things that for me as a mother were just huge that Liza shared in regard to her happiness and interaction with people. So yes, Kona was amazing from every angle. We had a fabulous swim, beautiful camaraderie, jumped on the bike, and it was a difficult course, obviously. But we were shy 9 minutes, just 9 minutes. So wow. With the bike cutoff time. But you know what? Every moment was priceless. And again, we were honored to be there. And we are quite seriously very determined and optimistic to continue to train, get out and about, improve our strength, our equipment, you name it. We would love to return to Kona again.
So how are you using Strava?
Oh, we use it every workout. I mean, my Garmin watch immediately communicates. It's so high tech. It is fascinating. Do I want to see behind the screen regarding Strava? I can only imagine. But the technology is simple for an athlete. Click, click. It takes off, and the camaraderie with other athletes that are friends, that's beautiful. You meet another crazy person or, extreme athlete or a beautiful walk around the park. There's so many diverse people and activities and events and training. It's really nice to give each other a high five via the Strava avenue. So it's wonderful.
So you'll be doing the $1 Million Challenge coming up, right? 625 miles. I think David just signed up. I think we got David coming down the coast too. 625 miles, 7 days. He's been in full on training. So are you excited about that, Beth? You'll be with, I think there's 130 7-day riders and 30 or 40 3-day riders, and the mix of challenged athletes and donors. It's a pretty special trip.
Oh, we're so excited. We're so honored to be a part of this event. This is a major event for challenged athletes, for all of the athletes participating. I mean, I can't even fathom, over 600 miles traveling down Highway 1 and to arrive in La Jolla. Liza's first triathlon in La Jolla with CAF. I remember distinctly when they crossed the finish line. And that inspired me again when the cyclists came in. I thought, oh my, there's another event on the hit list. So sure enough, we're honored to participate, and increased training and more time on the bike. And we are ready. We're ready to join your gang.
I love it. And so, David, the Stronger Through Sport Challenge goes through October 24th. People can still sign up, right?
Oh yeah, you can sign up right now, and as long as you have 300 minutes between now and midnight on the 24th, your local time, you can complete it. So we would definitely encourage everybody who hears this talk to join myself and Team Liza and all the other folks who are supporting Challenge Athletes Foundation in that challenge.
David, how tough when everybody was going through COVID time and you couldn't get out and train, and obviously people are doing more training indoors. I'm sure you had a lot of new people who found Strava during that time. Are you seeing that they're staying on board and it's actually even amplified what you had before?
Yeah, generally speaking, we have. I mean, in the early days of lockdowns, you're right. We saw a real drop off in activity initially because people were literally not supposed to leave their home in certain parts of the world. And then pretty quickly, we saw a tremendous growth in activity and new people joining Strava because, they were looking for ways to stay active and be motivated in what was otherwise a pretty tough time for, many people for obvious reasons. But we've actually seen really strong continued engagement and usage of Strava by those athletes that joined us during that time period. And I think one of the wonderful things about Strava is that it's better if your friends are on it, and it grows by word of mouth. And so in many senses, from Strava's perspective as a community, that period of accelerated growth has started a flywheel of bringing more people into our community, and so it's really helped I think accelerate the growth of our community and bring more people into hopefully the experience that is bringing them motivation and inspiration and joy. Love it.
Hey, and Beth, most triathletes get through the swim, the bike, and then they sort of dread the run. When I've seen you guys, Liza, she lights up as soon as that run starts, right? Because when she's in the swim, you're swimming, she's in a boat, she's sort of by herself. When you're on the bike, she's sort of by herself. But when she's in the run, and she's coming to aid stations and people are cheering her, I'm guessing that is her favorite part of the day.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely her favorite. And I don't blame her. She just loves the interaction and being closer. So it is priceless. That is her favorite segment. Now, Mom might be a little tired at that point. But Liza, she's ready. So therefore, Mom better dig deeper and continue forward.
I love it. And ice is the food of choice during the run.
Yes. Oh, she's an ice queen. And she's gaining quite a reputation with that. I love it. The volunteers and events, they're being so kind and even receiving a few messages prior to, don't worry, we'll have plenty of ice. So yes, they're spoiling us by inclusion and spoiling sweet Liza with plenty of ice on her lap, ready to go.
I love it. David and Beth, thank you so much for taking time and chatting. I can't wait to see you guys do the $1 Million Challenge. And David, this is 100,000 participants already in the Stronger Than Sport Challenge. This is taking it to a whole new level. We appreciate everything you're doing to help make athletes like Beth and Liza reach their dreams and accomplish anything they want.
Yeah, well, so excited to be able to support you and to support Team Liza, and really enjoyed the opportunity to meet you guys both. So thank you so much for the time.
Love it. Again, the Stronger Than Sport Challenge continues on through October 24th. You can sign up skiing, canoeing, CrossFit, e-bike. It doesn't matter if you're moving, if you're moving, it counts, right? So go on the Strava and go on the Challenge Athletes Foundation site and definitely sign up. Thanks everybody for tuning in to CAF's Heroes of Sport, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.